grand scheme of life, traits are passed down from parents to their offspring, a process known as heredity. Traits that make their way from parents to their children are referred to as inherited traits. The scientific study of how these traits are passed down is called genetics. Gregor Mendel, often known as the father of genetics, began his exploration into this field by cultivating various types of pea plants. Some of these plants were towering, while others were quite short. Also, he found that some plants bore green peas, while others sprouted yellow ones. Plus, the plants either bloomed with purple or white flowers. His initial experiment involved crossbreeding 2 pea plants with short stems through the process of pollination. After planting the seeds from these crossbred plants, he discovered that all the new plants were short-stemmed. Then, Mendel decided to crossbreed 2 tall or long-stemmed pea plants. Surprisingly, these tall plants didn't consistently produce tall offspring. Instead, they resulted in a majority of tall plants and a few short ones. Taking his curiosity a step further, Mendel crossbred a tall-stemmed pea plant with a short-stemmed one. He found that the first generation of plants were all tall, not a single short one among them. These experiments by Gregor Mendel laid the foundation for the fundamental rules of genetics, which state, every organism inherits 2 genes for each trait, one from each parent. One of these genes can be dominant over the other. The characteristic of the dominant gene is the one that is visibly expressed, while the trait of the weaker or recessive gene remains hidden. An organism that inherits identical genes for a specific trait is classified as a purebred. An organism that inherits different genes for a trait is referred to as a hybrid. Geneticists, or scientists specializing in genetics, use probability and a special chart called a Punnett Square to predict the genetic outcomes of a crossbreeding. The Punnett Square, named after the English geneticist Reginald C. Punnett who created it, shows all the potential gene combinations when 2 organisms are crossbred. In a Punnett Square, a capital or uppercase letter represents the dominant gene, while a lowercase letter represents the recessive gene. The genes of the parents are placed outside the square. When a hybrid tall plant, represented as TT, is crossed with a purebred short plant, represented as TT, the Punnett Square predicts the traits of the resulting offspring. According to this chart, the offspring plants have equal chances of being hybrids, TT, or purebreds, TT, since both combinations occur an equal number of times. However, not all inherited traits adhere to Mendel's fundamental principles. For some traits, neither gene is dominant, both are equally strong. This type of inheritance is termed incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance happens when neither of the 2 traits completely overshadows the other. In these instances, the offspring exhibit a blend of both traits. For instance, in some flowers, neither the red gene nor the white gene for the color of the flower is dominant. So when these 2 genes coexist in the same plant, they blend. Can you guess the color of the offspring? Did you guess yet? If you guessed pink, you got it right.